That's not good. Stalled it because it won't move. Yep. Nope. It also won't turn still. Yeah. Hey guys, it's Joe with Local 619. First weekend of the race season, ice racing that is, and about to head out to go check out the race cars, pull them out from the summer, do some work on them. So this is also the first vlog for Local 619, so hope you enjoy this, and we're gonna do some work and pull the race cars out. We don't really know what state they're in or anything like that because we haven't taken them out from the summer. They're pretty much winter cars only, as most of you know who follow us for some time. So I'm gonna go see on this nice cold morning which state our cars Wendy and Glenda are in. I already know Wendy needs some work on the left rear. We have a frozen caliper, I think. So we're gonna head over there now, head over to the garage, and we'll check them out and see what's going on. So we'll see you in a second. So just got to the garage. Let's go check out the state of the race cars here. All right, so Wendy is the first one. That's the one I race. Red 94 SC2 coupe. And so the reason why I think, or I know, that Wendy needs some help in the left rear is because a couple months ago James got married and we wanted to do what every bridal party does when they get married, take out the race cars and take pictures with them. So we did attempt to do that, and we had 6 guys try to push this thing out into the lawn a little bit, and it didn't work. So we fired it up and we said, we'll just drive it out. Well, it turns out I pretty much dragged the left rear all the way through the lawn as it wouldn't move. So I think, other than, you could probably see a little bit in here, other than the massive amount of rust from just sitting, I think the e-brake is stuck on. So I'm gonna get changed first to get down on the ground here and try to see if I can dislodge that and unfreeze it and pull this thing into the garage. So we'll just see what happens here. Well, like everything that we do and everything that has to do with race cars, probably won't be easy. Well, at least it's not flat now. Some other tools. It's just the rotor and the pads, I think. The caliper actually doesn't look rusted. As any good Saturn owner knows, And what we fail to do most times here is check the oil. So I can start it up, see if it moves. Hey, look at that. Looks good to me. Definitely seen it worse. Question is, I don't think I have the battery plugged in, and it probably is dead anyway. Nowhere near. Anything. Let's give this back a few more taps and see what we get. Let's see what we get here. See if we get any movement. That's not good. Stalled it because it won't move. Yep. Nope. And when that doesn't work, take the wheel off. One log at a time today. Ho, 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 ho. Yep. Might as well just take the brake off. So at this point, you're probably wondering why you're watching some guy work on his alleged race car. And that's a really good question. Just kidding. There's a really good reason why you're actually watching this. And you're probably also wondering why, where's all the great clips that I saw in the intro of racing and ice stuff and all kinds of cool things? That's also a good question. And yes, you will get to see that But right now, you're watching the prep what goes into ice racing. Another question you might have is, what is ice racing? That too is a good question. So ice racing is taking full-size cars and putting them on a frozen lake. Yes, the same lake that you swim in the summer, we're putting full-size cars on them in the winter. When lakes freeze over in upstate Adirondack, New York, 12 to 15 inches makes it safe enough for you to put trucks, trailers, and race cars on the ice and hold safely. So much like you've seen Ice Road Truckers, if you've seen any episodes of that, it's pretty much the same thing, except we actually know what the ice thickness is. Now, what you're watching is the prep that goes into all this. So we have to take our cars out for the winter and prep them. So basically, they are winter-only cars, as I talked about at the beginning of this episode. And what we need to do is unsummarize them. So normally you'd winterize something, but we actually summarize our cars. And so now we have to bring them out, make sure they're ready to go. And as you see, we've run into problems this winter with at least Wendy, the car that I race. So you're seeing me work on brakes. And yes, brakes are very boring. They're not difficult. There's nothing difficult about what you're watching right now. But you're seeing the work that goes into preparing for ice racing. Now, we race with an organization called AMEC, Adirondack Motorsports Enthusiast Club. And the classes in their club, so I run Wendy, the red car, in a street legal class, meaning that the studs on the tires are of street legal size. And you can run them in New York or upstate and anywhere in the Northeast, really. James runs a race stud class, which are not street legal tires, and they're much bigger. They look like screws screwed into a tire. Now, in both of our classes are mostly non-contact classes, especially in street legal. In street legal, there's absolutely no contact. In the race stud classes, it's really frowned upon and they don't really like the contact there either. But in street legal class, it's not allowed at all. However, we are on ice and 25 cars at the same time going around a mile and a half or mile course, things do happen. Ooh, that last one was bad. Let's watch that one again. So as you can see, things do happen on the ice because you're racing side by side and you're sliding around. Now, the idea is that we do our best to stay away from somebody who might be sliding into us or get past somebody who, might be a problem as we go through the corner or whatever the case may be. But right now, let's get back to me working on the car. There's going to be a lot more that comes from this. You'll see in future vlogs when January comes around, when we start the actual season, when we go ice racing on the weekends, you will see all that action. You'll see everything that we get to enjoy, everything from being out on the ice, doing 80 miles an hour on the ice, to winning races, to everything that comes in between, the prep, the travel, the long nights, the early mornings, everything that goes with that. You'll get to see all that and be a part of it. You also get to see more of the rest of the team. Right now, you're seeing me because this is the first weekend I was available to do it, and not everybody has been ready to commit their time. Right now, let's get back to me fixing the brakes, which I do fix. I run into more problems, nothing that we can't figure out. So we figure it out and we'll move on. But right now, let's continue back to where we were. Well, to start, James has been working crazy hours, so he's not here yet. He just texted me, so we'll see what his plans are. Of course, he texted me from the work cell phone, so that means he's definitely still out there. pads are rusted to the rotor. Where's the price? There they are. Might as well be metal at this point. They don't look anything like a pad. Backing plate. Yeah, that's useful now. Also out in pieces. Yeah, it's probably time to do pads and rotors. Alright, so finally got it taken care of. We're good now.
Get it freed up?
Yep.
Cool.
Well, let's restart this puppy again. Alright, let's get this bad boy in the garage. Pretty sure the power steering pump needs some fluid. Things to work on. So that took longer than I anticipated, trying to get the car to roll freely so I can get it in the garage. But now that I had it in the garage, I had to go out and get new parts. So I needed a new left rear caliper, new pads for both sides, new rotors for both sides. So I was going to do everything on the back of the car. So from there, I went out and I had to go to a whole bunch of different places because nobody was carrying the rear calipers for the S series. So went out to a place that was a little bit further away and did some more errands, got a few more things on the way. So here's where it picks up from here. So just ran around and picked up a bunch of parts. As a matter of fact, I got new calipers, some rotors, and lunch, of course. And then just picked up some propane at Tractor Supply because we always like heated garages. So we're gonna head back to the garage and get to work on the car finally now that it's like mid-afternoon, but better late than never. All right, see you back there. Always like a hot garage. And we're dealing with a little problem with the bolt here. Round it off. We'll figure out a way.
Vice grips ready? You know, make sure you have them handy.
Yep.
That's not real hot. Give it a try.
Nothing?
Nothing. Oh, a lot softer than that cast.
Yeah.
So you can't really hurt anything. I mean,
Well, if you kept it on there, yeah.
So all we do is just melt her out.
So everybody enjoys some time lapse. So let's watch some time lapse of me putting the rear brakes back together. It worked out pretty smooth to start, but then I ran into some problems. As you see here, I could not get some bolts into some threads. Things were an issue, but I did get the banjo bolt on. James showed up And at that point, he decided to take a look at things. I said, things aren't going in properly as far as threads go. So he said, all right, let's just tap and die those threads out. And so we did, or he did at least. And that sent us on our way. I was able to put the bracket for everything back. I was able to put the brake pads on. Now I just had to adjust and put the e-brake on. Took a quick break, came back, put everything back together, and then pretty much finished up by doing some bleeding of the brakes here with the mustache of knowledge, who just decided to sit there and do that.
Throttle stick, yeah, right? Yeah, needed some power steering fluid. So the battery's put away, or car's put away. Didn't get as much as I thought done today as I thought I would, but it does roll freely. The brakes do work now, and need some power steering fluid and a couple other things, like the removable steering wheel for one. But for another day at this point.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. I know it didn't have a whole lot of action in it, but I promise in future vlogs we will have a ton of action, all the ice racing stuff you want to see. But for right now, hit like if you enjoyed this one. Hit subscribe if you want to see more of this in the future, because I know you do. And go watch another video over here, like, you know, an actual race or something. Go watch that. But really, hit subscribe. Do, like, right now, hit right there. Just hit the button.